Welcome to Watkins Glen. Now 6 months has passed since I did the last video on how stupid the AI is, so let's take a revisit and see how bad they are now. I'm going to move it to the right hand side, out of the way, let everybody get past, and yeah, even in a straight line the AI managed to fluff it up. We're going to check that out at the end of the video, how they managed to mess up in a straight line. But we're going to head down to the first corner now, turning in. I'm going to stay on the outside, let them settle themselves in or out. Contact is made from the cars up in front. Sort of understand it, first corner and everybody's bottling up. And it is quite representative of online racing as well to an extent. If anything, it's probably a little bit cleaner. But for some reason the Audi to the left hand side did a touch on the brakes and massively reduced their speed coming down here. Another thing to mention, the AI is on the maximum setting, number 8. So hopefully that would also entice them to be a bit smarter. It's not seeming the case. What you do notice is there's a pack we're in the middle of right now. If you look at the map at the bottom left, there's also a pack long off in the distance. And that is still happening now. I mean, it sort of is realistic into a sense of if you take it to online racing, then usually players 1, 2 and maybe 3 do have the opportunity to break away from the carnage, but it's not always the case. I would say 4 out of 10 races are in that manner, but clearly it's still happening to an extent in the AI's racing. For some reason that Peugeot's parked up on the left hand side, given up. Generally, why are they there? Coming down here for lap 2, corner 2. There is contact from the cars on the left hand side. The AI does seem to have more contact with themselves, but are still quite scared of you as a person. I'm not too sure what that's about, but you do see them, when you get close to them, they do go a little bit funky at times. Where if it's another AI, they don't care. They literally just smash them out of the way. Usually, not all the time. What I have noticed though is the base code is exactly the same as it was in my previous video coming through here, and the Mercedes going awfully slow for some apparent reason. So going back to what I was just saying, the base code of it itself is exactly the same as it was previously in my previous video 6 months ago. So the AI is still scared of you to an extent. They just seem to have the aggression meter turned up a little bit, so it's not as obvious. But you do still see some weird sketchiness when you get close to the AI, and they do some funky things. So they haven't changed the base code of how the AI behaves, it just turned up the aggression meter a little bit. If anything, you can see now the pack up in front, you have 1, 2 and 3, longer for the distance, 4, 5 and 6, and then I think everybody seems to be running in trios at the moment. Now, you see that Hyundai up in front. That Hyundai is a very quick car, very competitive. The AI is driving it very, very well. So we're going to skip ahead. We're at the beginning of lap 3 right now. We're going to skip ahead to the point where I actually do catch it up, which is lap 6. So 3 laps it took me to catch up to that car up in front. Let's see how long it's going to take me to be able to overtake. We're going to go through the bus stop now. Car's doing very well up in front, 95 miles per hour through here, very stable. So I'm going to look up the inside. They defend. Brilliant. It's not too scared of me just yet. So it's going to be quite difficult to manage an overtake. I am in the MG. They are in the Hyundai. The Hyundai is a very, very quick car. So looking on the right hand side, they're coming over as well, defending, which is very, very good. I've got to admit, the defending strategy is working well at the moment. But they are riding on that line, so I guess it's using the proximity to determine whether it can move over or not. But I do get the run along here, going on the right hand side, hopefully forcing them to stay on the left, braking at the 200 marker, down the 3rd gear, turning in, the car comes sending it through, and then really backs out. Like, if the car carried on sending it through, it would have been perfectly fine. I gave space. But because obviously I'm human and my actions are unpredictable, the AI absolutely crapped itself and didn't know what to do, so it fully backed out the situation. And the funkiness doesn't end there. As we are coming along the straight, heading towards the bus stop again, you do see the car is dropping away. Now it took me 3 laps to catch them up, and I was giving it all to catch up to them. Now I've passed them, It's like they've given up trying to race, and they're not trying anymore. I can't remember, there we are, just come out of that corner now in the rearview mirror. They are long behind me. From a situation that happened at turn 1, they should still be able to keep up with me as we're going through the rest of the lap, but they've just dropped off a cliff. You look on the map now, another car's actually joined their party, and I'm long gone. Catching up to the cars in front at the start of lap 8. They are going to be quite difficult to catch up. Now we are in a situation where this is the real strength of field up here. We're in position 8, and the cars up in front, look at the gap. 3 cars up in front on the map, and that's, well, I'm never going to be able to catch up to position 1, 2 or 3. They are just long gone. Incredible lap times and speed. We're going to head into the bus stop again. Braking out the ambulance, down to 4th gear, 100 miles per hour through here, and out the other side we go. The 2 cars behind have kept the same kind of distance away from me, but I'm not sure if they are at the same pace they was when I was trying to catch up to them. Like I say, it's so peculiar that once you've gone, they're not too interested in keeping up pace, and there's no way that the incident in turn 1 has dropped that car back about 9 or 10 seconds, and that's what I could presume. So we go around this corner now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds before they enter that corner. That's insane. There's no way they've lost that amount of time. But we're coming around this corner again now. You can see we catch up to another yellow Hyundai. I'm not too sure what that goldy bronze car is, but we are going to catch up to them hopefully. We have 2 laps remaining of this fun. But whilst we have this little bit of stale area, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which is Andy Good, Jeffrey Anderson, DMC Motorsport, Sigmatic, Camille Coleno, Daniel Adams and John Burns. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Heading in towards the bus stop on lap 9, braking 4th gear, about 100 miles per hour through this section, and out the other side we go. Cars up in front seem very competitive. I am clawing them back in slowly, making a mess up on the outer loop, but we have one more lap left to do this. So the real question lies, has the AI been improved? I wouldn't say it's been improved, I would more say they've changed a little bit of code, but the base problems are still there. The AI gets sketchy around you, gets nervous, makes weird funky maneuvers, and it's not as prevalent as it once was, but they are still there. And I can show you a bit more of that at the end of the video, where a bit of weirdness is going on, and you got to question why it's happening. I mean, it's been 6 months since I did the last video, and I think they did an AI update after that. So give them 5 months worth of credit, 5 months of updates of improving the AI. And what they've done is they left the base model the same and changed the upper layers, thinking that might fix the problem. Pretty much turning up the aggression, and that is about it. Let me know down in the comments below if you think that just changing a few things could be considered an improvement, but the base code still looks the same. Something funky's happened here. These 2 bottled up, so I'm going to go around the outside, and I'm going to stick with this car on my right hand side now. I'm going to really get into their face, get into their space, and see what they do. They seem pretty comfortable. They're not too worried about me and what I am doing. They're holding their line. But as we enter this corner now, they massively brake. Really to the point that the Hyundai behind also braked because they didn't know what that AI was doing. And there was no need for that. We both could have gone through there 2 abreast, not a problem. It might have been close, but they brake so much, they're about another 5 or 6 seconds behind me right now. Where are they? Let's have a look. We're in position 6. They were almost 3 seconds behind me. That's insane. From that one corner, they bottled it by almost 3 seconds. So let's take a look at the first lap as we start the race. I move over to the right hand side. What actually happened to this MG? It's like they pulled a handbrake and turned right for no apparent reason. There was nothing there. And it was just funky. I mean, I don't understand it. Were they following what I was doing? Confused by my actions? Because obviously my actions were completely different to the norm. But it created that incident. Let's take a look at this Peugeot. Why did it sit and park up against the wall? Breaking into this corner now, everything looks totally normal. The Astra slams into the side of it, the AI has no idea what it's doing, rises to the curb, pulls over and starts turning left into a wall. And it's parked there, reversing, and then slowly rejoins, creating absolute carnage for everybody behind it. I mean, what? Let's take a look at this Hyundai now. I'm about to overtake the Hyundai that I spent 3 laps catching. They do defend very well. Coming into this corner now, everything seems absolutely spot on. They are on the racing line like glue. They don't seem to deviate much from it unless you force a situation. But we are coming over the start and finish line. I am overtaken on the right hand side. Let's see why they massively braked for no reason. Braking at a 200-meter board. The AI went to turn in, got a bit confused, and then braked a little bit more. And I think that was a little bit of funkiness because it was trying to avoid a situation with me and was totally confused about what was happening. Because, you know, humans are unpredictable. So I can sort of understand to an extent. But let's take a look at what they are actually doing. So they're braking into this corner, turning in, turning left and hard onto the right. And then coming down the hill we go. I think there's a little bit too much focus on what the player car is doing rather than what this car should be doing. If you look here now, here's another bit of funkiness we're going to have. Coming up this section now, they brake. Why did they brake? Nothing's around them. So we're going to head back and see actually what's going on. We're going to go up the hill and there they are, braking 42.5% onto the brakes. Why? It's flat out through here. Why are they applying 42% worth of brakes? And then coming onto the throttle again as they come around here, 100% throttle. And then braking, there you go, off the throttle and braking again there. Let's have a look how much brake they used there. There, we're off the throttle now. 5.6 point something brake in there. 6.3 we're getting, I think by the looks of it, the highest. 6.3% brake and 0 throttle. That in itself is probably why I disappeared off into the distance and this car was left standing. Because it has no clue what it's supposed to be doing. And why is it doing it? There's nothing in the vicinity of the area to go, you know, you should apply your brakes. Coming up to the bus stop, it gets even weirder. 100 miles per hour through the bus stop? Nope, this car is doing it at 60. I know it says kilometers per hour at the top left, but that's a Forza bug that's still not been fixed at my end. 60 miles per hour through the bus stop. Why? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. There's nothing there or nothing in the whole situation of area that will cause it to sit there and behave and go, do you know what? There's something around me. I must go through here very slowly. It's so jarring and so confusing because it's just spent the last 6 laps absolute sending it. And then as soon as I overtake, it doesn't know what to do. It's, I don't know. Well, I've done my job. So pull over, shall I? Have a cup of tea? Let's tell you what. Let's go into the pits. Put the kettle on because the player is long gone in front of me. You know, what? What is that about? Now we're going to skip ahead to the 3-car train that was up ahead that I was catching up to. You can see them go through the bus stop, 95 to 100 miles per hour. Seems absolutely spot on. But the biggest problem we have is the 3-car train staying in a train style. They will not overtake each other. This car is going to brake because the car in front of it is braked. Instead of moving over, overtaking that position or anything like that, it massively backs out. And look at the gap it's creating from the car up in front. And because the, well, I'm going to say 1, 2 and 3. So number 1 is braking a little bit. Number 2 is close behind it, freaks out a little bit. There we go, brakes mid-corner there. And then number 3 brakes even more because number 2's braked. Why? Why? Just overtake. The track is massively wide. Just overtake that position. But you can see the Subaru Levorg is going off into the distance. The Astra, I think it is, or the Mercedes in the middle, is playing its own little game there. And the Hyundai is suffering the most, really, because the gap it's creating is unreal. It's just weird. And considering, though, these guys were so far ahead, it took me forever to catch up. We're going to fast forward into the bus stop again. They're braking 94 miles per hour. That's pretty good. About right. Coming around the outer loop. and everything seems totally normal. Everybody seems to be back on pace. Again, that car in front brakes. This car brakes even more to compensate for that car braking, and then the gap extends. But it was never like that. It took me 9 laps to catch up to these guys. 9 laps. And we're not even there yet. So how can it take 9 laps, and then as soon as I start entering the vicinity, they become janky and confused? There's no reason for it. If they was like this throughout the whole race, then I would have easily gone past them. So you want to work that one out? I do not know. But here we go, where these two cars bottled up for no apparent reason. But I think the Subaru sketched out the gold car behind it, and it had no idea what to do. So let's have a look at Lord Dominic's point of view. Oh, it's an Astra, my bad. Right, the telemetry is up, and there we go, massively 70 miles per hour, and it's totally confused on what to do. The Subaru Levorg went through perfectly fine, so we're going to back off again and enter this corner. There we are, really braking 70 miles per hour, left, right on the steering wheel. It has no idea what to do. And then out the other side at 70 miles per hour, the Subaru Levorg is long gone in the distance, and here I come overtaken. Now I'm going to stick beside it and see what the inputs are as I'm getting close to it. Right now, it doesn't seem to care. It has no awareness that I'm next to it. Look at how straight on that line it is. It is solid, you can't move that thing. Braking into this corner, there we go, a lot of brakes, and it pulls so far out that I'm long gone. Even the Hyundai is actually looking to make a move and then backs out. The car braked that much, even the AI that doesn't want to overtake anybody wanted to overtake. So to really answer the question, has the AI improved? No. They've made a few changes here and there, and I wouldn't say it's improved. I would say it's different. The base problems are still very prevalent, still there. AI has no idea what to do when there's a player around, and besides, absolutely brick itself and cowered off into a corner. But is it more aggressive than what it previously was? Yeah. But I couldn't consider that as an improvement or an update called an improvement towards the AI system, when all you've done is made the AI not care so much about what's happening around it versus a player. Versus AI, it doesn't like it, but versus a player, it would absolutely brick itself. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think it's improved? Would you call it an improvement? Or do you think what I'm saying is total waffle?